coffee.
You know that feeling when the cashier turns that tablet around and you have no idea if you need to tip or how much? Yeah, we've all been there. Tipping. It's almost impossible to buy anything from coffee to cupcakes without being prompted to add a tip, especially in New York City. Most of the time, it's even pre-programmed to add 15, 18, 20% and over. Thank you for doing the math for me. But when should you actually be tipping?
Here's a quick guide to tipping in New York City. Friendly reminder, the sales tax is just under 9%.
Starting with hotels. Housekeeping. $2 to $5 per day, depending on services requested. Porters and bellhops, $1 to $2 per bag carried up to your room. Restaurants, make sure to tip anywhere from 15 to 25% of the total bill, based on service. And to note, some places pool tips at the end of the night, so it's a team effort. Spas and salons, hairdressers, manicurists, masseuses, similar to restaurants, 15 to 25%. Be sure to tip the assistant who washes hair, about $5 too. Delis, bodegas, takeout, or any food counter, ideally tip 10%, but if you're just grabbing a coffee or a single grab-and-go item, a $1 tip could work too.
So our social etiquette may have changed, but what do you really think about tipping?
I don't really like when, like you said, when they add it on already, when the gratuity's already added in the bill. Other than that, got no problem with it.
I don't know. I'm a little confused because where I'm come from, we don't do it.
It's like a quiet moment. You're looking at the screen. They're looking at you. They're like 15, 20, 30.
Why am I tipping for a mobile pickup order?
The airport in New Jersey just asked me to tip at self-checkout. Tip myself? Why did all the work? Who am I tipping?
Well, roughly 2/3 of Americans have a negative view on tipping, according to a new study by Bankrate. About 40% of us think that businesses should just pay employees more, and 30% of Americans agree those pre-entered tip screens are annoying.
It's kind of, I think it's kind of pushing you towards what they want you to pay instead of allowing you to give what you want to give or what you feel they deserve.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they do the math for me. You know?
Possibly more surprising was about 15% of those asked would rather pay more for the product than think about how much to tip.
So, who's most likely to tip? Well, women and baby boomers are the ones to give the most, with men and Gen Z the least likely to add a few dollars. Waitstaff at dine-in restaurants still receive the most tips, with hotel maids, baristas, and takeout workers falling behind.
So one of the biggest takeaways from the study is the confusion that people are going through with trying to figure out how much to tip. On top of that, rising grocery prices, paying rent. During inflation, it's not always easy to just tack on a few extra bucks.
But the wage gap is the worst here than anywhere else in the country. New Yorkers worth over $30 million collectively own $6.7 trillion in wealth. These ultra-rich folks make up a tiny 0.4% of state residents.
The money service workers make on tips is an essential part of their earnings. So here's a tip: leave the right tips.